Well, thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon. I know it's always difficult, last day of a conference in the afternoon after some heavy Indian food, so really appreciate it. As Shirley mentioned, we had a little teaser of the market earlier this morning at the keynote. What we want to do today is go a layer deeper, talk a little bit about the market, again, for those who didn't get a chance to see the keynote, but also talk about the architecture, right? Architecture, as well as where we're headed. I think that's kind of really exciting and where we want to see it going. But before we do that, we have clickers?
Yep.
All right, cool. We figured we would give a quick introduction to both of us. So again, hello, Sean Morton. I run what we call at FireEye customer experience, and it's sort of a culmination between the market and I also run our technical partners program. So it's really how do we enable our partners and customers to be successful with FireEye solutions. I've been with FireEye and Mandiant for about 5.5 years, came in through the Mandiant acquisition. I've worn multiple hats over my career here. I played a big role in TAP and Helix, building and designing that for a number of years. Switched over to focus on some design stuff and then some product strategy stuff as well in our product management group. And then recently rejoined Grady through the CTO and customer success organization earlier this year, where we started focusing on the market. This is I think it's my 5th or 6th CDS/MIRCon, but it's actually my first time presenting, so I'm super pumped and really thank you all for attending.
Yep. And I'm Will Green. I'm a technical director in the customer success organization. I've been with FireEye for 5 years. Also came in with a Mandiant acquisition, funny enough, underneath Sean at the time. Been in a number of roles within the organization, from engineering to management to architecture, and now technical director. Primarily responsible for the architecture and operations of the marketplace. And I'm really excited to share with you what we've launched today.
So again, I shared this quote earlier this morning, and I think it just speaks volumes for what we're doing at FireEye right now. We are heavily focused in creating that open and extensible ecosystem, as Paul mentioned again earlier this morning. And I think if we build the right tooling and the right capabilities to truly enable our customers and our partners, I think we're going to start to really see some amazing capabilities grow out of that through our ecosystem. This is that ecosystem slide that Paul showed, and again, it's that extensible and modular way to integrate into your FireEye experience. We make it very easy with FireEye products themselves to integrate into this, but we are really focused on the third-party solutions as well, where we're going to start leveraging the market to drive a lot of that. This is really where I think the market comes into play. Is as we start building these third-party integrations and these capabilities, you need a place to discover them. You need a place to learn about them, to deliver them to your solutions. You need a place to learn how to build your own. And so the market is going to be a way to empower our partners and our customers and our employees to do just that. So the way I like to describe the market is really this vision statement. It's together through the power of community, we are going to integrate and strengthen and augment that FireEye experience for everyone. And I like to think of it across 3 different pillars to really enable that. So first is all about that discovery piece, right? So we want to make it dead simple for you as a customer, as a partner, as a prospect, to learn about who we integrate with, how we integrate with them, and where we integrate with them. So that's really the first piece. The second is, as a partner or a customer, how can you build your own extensions and integrations into the FireEye ecosystem? How can you leverage our open APIs and our plugin frameworks and other SDKs that we might make available to enable you to integrate into your workflows, into your third-party tools, into your custom tools that you have within your diverse environments? And then the third piece is all about collaboration. You've heard this theme over and over again this week, but how do we enable that togetherness through the content that we create? And it could be something as simple as, how do I use this API and creating conversations around that, to how do I authenticate against FireEye services? We want to really add that layer of collaboration and community on top of everything we do in the market. So simply put, this is how I like to describe the market to people. I talk about it as we are promoting an open and extensible ecosystem for everyone, and we want to show and share everything that we have at FireEye for our customers and for our partners. And this is content primarily today that is just created by our employees, but we'll talk about it a little later. We really want to focus on enabling our partners and our customers to start sharing their own created content for the broader community. I think the best way to do this, though, is we just had a press release this morning, so we put together a little video as part of that. It's a quick 2 or 3 minutes, so let's take a look.
At FireEye, we believe that accelerated cybersecurity innovation.
Awesome. A big shout out to Shirley for really helping drive and coordinate that video. We put that together in what, 3 days, 4 days? Really? Yeah, so thank you, Shirley. Also, what better way to promote a new product than with an Aussie accent, right? I mean, that's just great. So let me deep dive a little bit into some of the specific capabilities that we have in the market today, day one, with the launch. So we have over 50 free tools and freeware apps and product extensions in the market today. So these are things that our consultants, our sales engineers, our researchers, our product engineers have created over the years internally that they use to do their day-to-day jobs, whether it's tools that they use to do better forensics or incident response investigations, things that they use to make them better at software development. We want to make that available to the community as freely accessible tools. These are a combination of open source software as well as some freeware apps. We also just published over around 150 orchestration plugins, we're calling them, for our orchestration solution, Security Orchestrator. I don't know if everyone saw the announcement yesterday, but we just made a huge announcement with that with Helix. So all of our Helix customers will have access to that solution as well. From the market feature perspective, it's actually an incredibly simple experience. My background in UX and design, we really focused on a clean, simple, self-explanatory experience. You can browse, you can search, you can filter for the content that you find most relevant for your use cases. So for example, if you are an HX customer, you can simply say, show me all the apps that leverage HX APIs. Or if you're interested in a particular category topic, show me all the apps that work with SIMs. So it's completely flexible. We also have freeform search as well as some featured apps. Once you find what you're looking for, you can view and download information about them. Really easy one-click access to most of these applications. We are making this publicly available. So what's really cool about this is you can go to the site without being a FireEye customer, and a lot of those free tools, whether it's open source or freeware, are available to the masses. We do also have customer-specific products and apps on the market. So things that might integrate with a product API obviously require that you are a FireEye customer to leverage and use those APIs, but we make those available for customers as well. I think what's one of the coolest things about this, though, is it's also fully mobile responsive. So I think probably other than FireEye.com itself, this is one of the first fully responsive mobile experiences that we've built up at FireEye. So I'm just personally, again, from a design background, I'm really excited about that. In terms of the specific pieces of content on the market today, I've mentioned this before, but we have our open source software. So these are tools and extensions that we've created internally that are available on GitHub, again, surfaced up through the market as discoverable freeware content, including, again, some of our freeware content, which are things that are not necessarily open source. They might be closed source, but again, free tools that we make available to the masses. Those product extensions that I talked about, these are things that integrate with our products, typically through a open RESTful API, and they allow you to do a little more than what the product currently does, or spin different use cases around different data views on the products. And I have some examples I'll show you for that. And then also our orchestration add-ons. So these are really where we start to get into the third-party integrations with our products. And these power our security orchestrator engine, FSO, that you've heard about it before, which is now part of Helix. I did want to tease out some of those grayed out ones as well. So we are working closely for the first time ever on our X-Agent add-ons. So these are really advanced extensions to our endpoint agent that our internal consultants and researchers have built over the years that they leverage during investigations and forensic activity and incident response type of activity. We've never given these out to customers before. This is primarily only been internal stuff. So over the next coming weeks and months, you'll start to see some of that content available for endpoint customers. And then where I truly get excited is once we start opening it up to you. As partners, as customers, we are going to start building tooling and capabilities to allow you, let's say you're a customer and you've created your own scripts leveraging our product APIs to integrate with your own solutions. Or you're a partner who's created mashups and integrations with your own products. We want to surface that up on the marketplace, make it accessible for everyone. Now I'm going to talk about a couple different examples of the kinds of apps that we have in the market. This is a really cool app. This is one of our freeware apps created by one of our talented researchers in FireEye. It's called monitor.app. And essentially what it is, it's event monitoring for your Mac. So you can download this for free. As anyone out there, it's freely available for all. Run it as a Mac app, and it will help you capture interesting activity on your Mac endpoint. So this one, again, is freely available. You can go check this one out right now. This is another really cool one built by a couple of our consultants. This is called RealFish. This is an example of one of our open source GitHub repos. What it does is it helps you perform red team activity around phishing attempts within your organizations. It's a tool that our consultants use when they do red team assessments. And so if you want to leverage that in your own environment, you can do so as well. Be careful with this one, though. This is one of my favorite ones. So one of our talented sales engineers built this tool. It's called HX Tool. And essentially what it is an extension on top of our endpoint solution, HX. It leverages the HX APIs to pull down data and provide additional views into your HX data for just additional administration and configuration type of activity. This one has been hugely popular in our community, but we're surfacing up through the market now as well. So these are just a few of the many, many examples that we have out there today. Again, like I mentioned, we have over 180 different types of apps and freeware apps and plugins and extensions out there right now. So definitely encourage everyone to go check it out to see what else we have. But what I want to do now is turn it over to Will to talk a little bit about our architecture and how we built the market.
Okay. Thanks, Sean. So a little bit of background. We have a very small team. There's 4 of us. They're actually all here in the room today. We started this on April 1st and shipped it yesterday. Right? So let's talk about how we were able to do this. When we were designing the FireEye marketplace, we had 3 pillars in mind. First of all was manage fewer servers. As I mentioned, there are 4 of us on the team. We didn't want to spend our time managing and patching servers, so we developed a completely serverless architecture on AWS. We define the performance and scaling characteristics, and AWS takes care of scaling the solution up and down based on the needs of the application. We automate the mundane. All right? We chose tools that allow every engineer on the team to develop and test their solutions, their new features, in their own isolated development environments. So that way they can integrate the new features with ease, and we have high confidence when we're able to ship software, which we do, by the way, fairly frequently, average 2 or 3 times a day. And finally, we write less code. Building a world-class marketplace is not something you do overnight. It's not something you really do in 6 months. So we leveraged an enterprise marketplace platform for the core of our solution in AppDirect. For authentication, we used Okta. That's the same solution that you use now to log into the support and community portals. And for the community aspects that we'll be integrating soon, we use Salesforce Communities. So let's take a look here at what this architecture looks like on AWS. All right. So we've outsourced the undifferentiated heavy lifting to Amazon. We wanted to focus on delivering content to you, our customers, and let Amazon manage the servers. Let us focus on A, the content, and B, delivering features. We leverage AWS Lambda for our functionality. You see we have 10 Lambda functions that run the market here. We built our API on top of GraphQL. Now this style of API allows clients to ask for some metadata, a document describing what the data looks like, and then you can make requests asking for only the data that you want. This allows us to optimize our costs and sending only the data over the wire that you want. And we're also multi-homed, meaning we are deployed on US East Coast and US West Coast. So if you visit FireEye Market today from this location, you'll be served by by services from the East Coast. If you go back to California, you'll be served by data from the West Coast. All of this takes advantages of some of Amazon's solutions, DynamoDB global tables that allow near instantaneous replication through multiple regions. So if for something terrible, unforeseen were to happen on the East Coast, everything would still work on the West Coast. Finally, we leverage CloudFront, Amazon's network of content distribution nodes, to deliver our content to you as fast as possible. Amazon takes care of figuring out which of their endpoints is closest and will serve the content faster to you and serve it through that endpoint. So what's next? Well, let's take a deeper look at what we're planning for coming up in the FireEye market. As we mentioned, community is a big theme of this year's conference. We've laid the base platform now for delivering content in the market. We want to start to drive community engagement. Sean will dive into that in a second. We want to have our partners featured in the market. Right? We have a lot of partners who are doing a lot of good things. We want to make sure that they get the visibility and can help drive business through the market. And finally, we want to enable you, our customers, to build your own solutions. Right? We recognize that we're probably not the only security solution in your environment. You might have something custom that maybe nobody else has seen before, very few people have seen before. We want to enable you to build some integrations for that and share this out in the market. All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Sean now to talk about community engagement.
Thanks. Before I do that, too, I just want to really congratulate Will and his team on the amazing job they did building this out. It is a perfect example of how we are going to start building apps and products going forward at FireEye with this sort of really decoupled serverless approach and really focus on that undifferentiated value. So just really thank you, Will, for that. And I see Frank in the audience, so I just want to call out that $40 a month is what it costs to run that thing.
Well, we're on 2 coasts now, so it's more like $60 a month. So
Grady,
you're going to have to buy 2 cups of coffee a day.
Thanks. So yeah, I mean, what I'm really excited now is kind of where we're headed, though. Like I said this morning, this is really just the start for the market. This is sort of laying that foundation. I think what we do next is really going to focus us to enable on that community piece and really enabling our partners and our customers. So that first piece, the community engagement. We're going to do everything from allowing users to submit their ideas in a more collaborative way so you can see feedback on new ideas, whether those are feature ideas or improvements or even things like new app ideas, and allow you to upvote and share your feedback on that in a community setting. We are going to also enable sort of this developer experience with Q&As and kind of conversations around how to leverage our apps, how to build apps, how to extend those apps, how to leverage our APIs. So, if you have a question on how do I use a particular API, how do I authenticate against this service, hopefully the community will help drive those conversations for the masses. I also mentioned previously that I run our technical partnerships program, and I see this incredible opportunity to combine that program with the market. So leveraging the market to truly provide visibility on who we partner with, how we partner with them, what we partner with on them, and then for you as a user to easily get access to the content that we've integrated and extended with that partner. So things like having a real simple place to discover those partners, see that information. So whether it's physical things you download or it's configuration tweaks that you have to set for various architecture setups, or it's even just general white papers or solutions briefs, making that all easily accessible directly through the market.
And as I mentioned before, we want to enable you, our customers, to build your own solutions, your own integrations, and offer them up on the market. We're going to be working with the products and services teams to kind of get a handle around our APIs and API documentation. We have some ideas around putting together like a sandbox that you can play with these APIs in interactively before you publish them on the market. And finally, we have a few smaller enhancements that we're looking into. First of all is notifications. We want to make sure we do this right. We don't want to overwhelm you. We want the notifications to be on your terms. But notifications for new applications, applications that meet certain criteria, updates to existing applications you've already installed. These could take the form of email, daily emails, weekly emails, in-app notifications, an RSS feed. So these are some of the ideas we're kicking around. Also social sharing, right? So once you've built your own integration, you've published it on the market, you're going to want to be able to share this out very easily to your social networks. Get people to look at it, download it, eventually upvote it and comment on it. We're going to make that easily in the market. And finally, our ratings and reviews, right? So what is a marketplace without ratings and reviews? This is something we want to think about very carefully because these tend to get out of hand sometimes. So we want to make sure we do this right. We want this to be something positive for the community as well as the authors. We want to encourage people to continue to contribute and at the same time make their applications better.
Yeah, so just in summary, again, the best thing you can do for us is to actually go check it out and use it. So whether that's through your phone or on your desktop, please go visit FireEye.market. It's very easy to remember. But we want to hear from you. So feedback, please. That's how we're going to improve it together as a community. So whether you want to hit us up directly at market@fireeye.com, or you can also fill out, there's a form in the footer of the market itself that will send some information to us. But if it's anything from simple bug fixes to feature ideas to feature enhancements or even app ideas that you have or would like to contribute to the market itself, please reach out to us. That is how we are collectively going to get better and start sharing that information out to the broader community. So we still have our booth set up outside for the next couple hours, so please do stop by if you're interested in a demo. But like I said, I think the UX and the experience itself is so self-explanatory. I think the best thing you can do is just go see the market yourself. So thank you very much, and I think we do have quite a bit of time for some questions if we have any in the audience. Yes?
How about cybersecurity? Do we scan or how do we ensure there will not be any malware?
Yeah, great question. So the question was, how do we ensure that I think what we're putting on the market is not malware, right? So we are working through that tollgate process right now. I think it's going to be a combination of some automated tooling, whether that is vulnerability scans or running things through our own sandboxes, but also some manual reviews on code quality that we're working on internally setting up. So we don't have that fully defined yet. It's still very manual, but we're going to focus on making that more and more automated as we can. For now, if you have ideas or want to share stuff with us, you can just email us directly and we'll work with you. Great question, though. Yes?
Are there plans to update some of the older tools that have been out there for a while, like Highlighter?
Great question. So the question was, are there plans to update some of the older tools? It depends. Some of them, yes. Some of them rely on some older technologies that we really don't focus on too much anymore. Unfortunately, some of the original authors for a lot of those tools are no longer here as well. So some of them no, but yes, we do have some plans to update some of those other apps. I can talk with you maybe offline about some of the specifics. Yes?
I don't know if I need a microphone, but I got mom voice. So you touched a little bit on the partners. I'm assuming you're talking about technology partners.
Yes.
From a channel perspective, us being a channel company, how do you envision down the road the resellers leveraging this with their customers?
Great question. So the question, if everyone didn't hear it, was how do we envision channel reseller partners leveraging the market? We haven't fully figured that out yet, but I envision probably late next year at some point thinking about having a paid model within the market itself. So we've talked about having some of our products and solutions directly available for download and purchase from the market itself. We've thought about how we do some of the demo experiences directly from the market as well too. So I don't know if everyone was here in the previous session. There was a demo on Fireproof, which is our new demo environment for email. And we're thinking about how we serve things up like that through the market and make that easily accessible so you can not only register, but demo, trial things as well. There's a lot of thought that has to go behind how that works, especially with partners. But what's really great about the AppDirect platform that we purchased is it does just that. So one of the big capabilities for it is that purchasing model. And they work quite a bit with a lot of reseller groups. So I think like one of their customers is like Staples. So they're a huge reseller partner. So we're going to dig into that a little more. We're actually going out to their conference
2 weeks.
in 2 weeks
Yep.
to dig a little more on what that might look like. Great question though. Yeah. Yes. Mobile apps. Yeah. Yes. So I have one mobile app in my back pocket that I helped write for Helix. We're going through some legal stuff right now to clean up some licensing stuff, but yes. So the idea for mobile apps is it would point you over to the App Store, or the Google Play Store. But yes. So we do support mobile apps if we have those out there. We don't have any in there today though.
Right.
Yeah. Anything else?
Any other questions?
Great. Well, again, Will and I thank you for your time today, and hopefully we'll either catch us in the hallway, catch us at our booth, or send us an email at market@fireeye.com. So thank you, everyone.
Thanks.